All right, welcome back, everyone, to A Programmer Plays Submerged. In our previous episode, we managed to get most of the ration chest things. I believe we have two left. Hold on. I swear that I saw. Okay, yeah. Here we go. In our pause menu, we can see uh icons across the top. Uh, Make postcard. Oh, photo mode. Okay, cool. Neat. We got an achievement for looking at it and not actually doing it. I'm thinking let's go ahead. I had originally been thinking that I would go around and try and find the remaining creatures and landmarks, but now I'm thinking let's gosh, every time. Let's actually go ahead and go to one of these two ration chests, grab that, and look around, try and mark some more of the secrets. There's only 18 secrets left, and we've got a fair number of them marked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them marked. So more than half of the remaining secrets, we already know where they are. I'm sure we can improve upon that. I forgot that it's left stick to move that. Every time. Oh, that looks... Hold on. Yeah, that's one of our landmarks right there. The obdurate creature. I don't think I know that word. Obdurate? Right, not one, but two separate little boost upgrades. We'll go and grab those. Excuse me, Mr. Whale. Oh, never mind. The boat handling is interesting. The way that, like, it doesn't... It feels drifty, honestly. See how the back of it sort of like swings around when I'm... Again, Mr. Whale? Alright. 15 out of 26 on there. Heck yeah. Alright, so... Need to climb this guy. Shouldn't be bad, honestly. Kitez Municipal. Up we go. Oh, that's interesting. Hey, buddies. Where'd you go? Was this even one of the ones on the map? I think it was. I'm enjoying, honestly, the way that the little red flowers are acting as our yellow paint. I'm sure that there are people that didn't enjoy that, who found it kind of overbearing, but I think it's been fine so far. They've shown kind of remarkably much restraint, not like absolutely covering the game in path hints. Part of that is because there's just not that many paths, so they can afford to be fairly confident about it, but like right here, like they're making us take on faith that this path is going somewhere, which is good. Thing over there, but also thing around the corner. Get you from here. Down there. Alright, so there's our final destination. I really do feel like this game would benefit from having a some sort of sprint stamina thing that you can use while up in areas like this, where you're just like, hey, I'm just sort of trotting and I would like to not be trotting. Where is this going to take us? Ah. All right, 3/4. I'm assuming that beeping I'm hearing is that. Alright. Let's figure out where I missed the path for the other one. Has to be just around earlier. I feel like a lot of times when the camera makes a point of showing us a thing, it's telling us that we've already missed it. Like, it's there. So is there another route up the back of the building that we missed? Because I kind of assumed we were climbing here, like, oh, there'll be a way all the way up and then back down, but maybe that is a bad assumption. I'm not seeing the route that I'm looking for. I'm gonna climb up this just to double check that there's nothing we can grab from here. There's not. Nothing. It's possible, I suppose, that when we see the guys walking around, that is also a hint that we've potentially missed something. Right, so that goes down to the start. And this... Alright. Well, shit. I kind of think that we've backtracked for nothing. I don't quite... I'm not seeing it. I'm genuinely not seeing the route. Here I was just talking about how they've been pretty sparing with the red flowers, and I find myself like looking around and going, where did I miss some red flowers? There we go. Nope. Ironically, the little, like, gangplank bits are some of the finickier bits of the controls. Even though you've only got, 2 directions you can go. But it can be kind of picky about, like, which direction you're pushing to go in those 2 directions, so... Alright, so we need to get there. Maybe there's a way over that I'm overlooking? There he is, son of a bitch. This was not hard to spot, and I just completely overlooked it. Well, that's a lot of backtracking we didn't need to do, but that's okay. You can tell this is a blind replay. I have not played this game in probably about a decade. I'm pretty sure I played this game pretty close to its release. And this game came out in 2015, so that is not recent. So here's something that potentially could change in the sequel. I don't know if they'll do this, but if she could get her hands on a lamp to have on her, either a headlamp or like a hip lamp or something, I feel like that could actually be a pretty useful, like genuinely useful upgrade to make exploring while it's nighttime easier. Okay. Green dots in water jar. The green of her is actually starting to look like copper, almost. Like a statue, like the Statue of Liberty. Star? So are we looking for a star chart now?
Timak pain patakul.
I need something to take away Taku's pain. Phrasing of that's a little uncomfortable. Did I get all of the... Alright, it looks like I've picked up all of the upgrades that I can have picked up. So, now, I'm a little tempted to try and go, before we get that last bit, I'm tempted to go sort of romping through the environment and see if we can't, every single time. See if we can't fill in the map a little bit more, grab the last secrets. I would like to have gotten all of the secrets before we get the last ration chest. Scanning around for bits we may have missed. Hello. Honestly, I feel like the whales are kind of teasing us. Somewhere around. It's kind of impressive. Nope. This game, like, a lot of buildings, right? Obviously. But actually, a lot of them are just buildings. They're just set decoration. You don't really interact with them at all, other than them being barriers when you're driving your boat around. Alright, so where is it? It's on the far side of this building somewhere. Hopefully the camera will help us out. I don't see anything there. I'm fairly certain I remember going over to that side, actually, getting stuff, so... One of those situations where I really do wish I could zoom in on the map. Still on the wrong side of the building. Oh, I meant to talk about this while we were boating, but I distracted myself. Interesting the way that now we got that one. This is not the first time we've reclimbed this tower. So there's that. How I'll get there, dude. Ah. Gotcha. Our boat's getting more infected looking, honestly. Alright, we're gonna take a risk. Gonna fast travel home, and we'll see if... Hey, we are in the boat this time. Excellent. You know what? Let's actually... We know that there's something at the top of our tower. Let's go ahead and climb that and get that. I feel like this tower might have gotten a little more direct love. Because we've got these, like, really big corner blocks, right? It would make sense that if you're gonna maybe spend a little extra time making the bits look like actual bits of the building that would be there and giving them, you know, variety and stuff, then this would be the building to do it. This is the one that people are gonna notice and maybe rag on you if you don't do a great job. There's something down there that I don't know about. Or was that just a significantly easier way to climb this tower? That was just an easier way to climb this tower. That's funny. All right. Well, with that acquired, I'm tempted to just... I'm actually... So, here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna go backwards for just a spell. Want to just drive through here, fill in the map a little bit. Love a mini map, you know? So we'll get past these buildings and then we'll turn into the skid. It's an interesting take on there's this kind of eternal conflict, right, of the perception of scale on a map and the perception of scale when you're in an area are often pretty out of sync. The city feels much larger on the map than it actually is. But also, when you're in the map, that also feels like the map also sort of like simplifies things down. So there's this sort of like double aspect, right? The map conceptually flattens everything, but also makes you think that things are just further apart than they are. We've gotten that. And here at the hospital, there was a thingus that we never got. Which I'm pretty sure I know where it is. I'm pretty sure I know the route, which I did not take to get to it. Hospital. Yeah, 'cause we're basically... The map says that we're basically on top of it. I think that it's a case of I need to climb up this and then go right, because previously I went down. And I commented on, like, hey, it feels a little nerve-wracking getting this close to the ocean. There we go. Perfect. 49. I had a whole lot of luck with, I had a whole lot of luck with finding ship parts today. Interesting. I do wish, talking about things that I would like to see in the sequel, we'll see. I would love if the sequel had a system of like, hey, once you get to the top of a building, right, you toss down a rope. Make it so that, you know, let us unlock shortcuts and stuff. That just make it easier to get back into areas that we've been in before. Reclimb buildings that we've partially climbed already. Alright. Complain and ye shall find a thingy. The other thing that I really love, and this would change the vibe of the game, so I get why you would hesitate to do that, do what I'm about to say, but I would love a mini-map. Because y'all are seeing how much I'm switching back and forth with the map and gameplay. While it's daylight, I'm trying to like see if there are any, you know, floating boats that I can salvage from, anything like that. Easy one. Do we think that the Moss Men are the ones placing these boards here? In such convenient places? I could definitely see a sort of meta story about like the Moss Men are like trying to make our journey succeed, and so they're the ones like sort of paving the way. Alright, there is something to the north here. Where's our access point? Found it. Alright, and the actual thing that we missed, top centers, that doesn't help us a whole lot. I should probably be like scoping these ahead of time as I approach to try and preemptively figure out what's the route gonna be, rather than just coming in here and manually trying every possible route. I thought I'd been pretty thorough here. Did I do this one? I feel like I remember doing that one. So knowing me, I can totally see a situation where I went straight to the optional path and then never went back and did the normal path. Me taking wildly cursed routes is... oof, that is an old story. I wonder if there's just like a % chance of her doing the, you know, that. I would assume so. Alright, cool. So we did not have a hard time finding this one at all. $51 out of 60. What does that put us at, actually? So 1, 2, that we know where they are. And then this, obviously, this big swath of land that we haven't explored. Ocean that we haven't explored over here. Now, the fact that there's all this, which to my eyes looks like it continues going up, does kind of make me wonder if there's more to this particular building that I just completely missed. Like, it would be just my luck to have climbed a building and then find out, like, oh, you missed a second thing over here. No, this is all familiar ground. Yeah, we did this. We actually retread a good bit of this ground. There's an interesting dichotomy, like apart whenever you're playing a game like this, right? Post-apocalyptic thing. You're just like, boy, it's awful convenient that there's all these resources that we can just steal, have. But at the same time, it's like, all right, but we're two kids in this entire city, and like the number, like we're using a telescope to spot things multiple buildings away. Our resources are actually quite limited. So all right, we're gonna do the fast travel home again. I'm reasonably confident that that's it for that spot. Follow this thoroughfare. Up over here, maybe. Don't mind me. Everything's fine. And then we want to check out over here. Terrible boating skills. Really, the brush with which we're painting onto the map is not that big. Again, the sort of maps messing with your sense of scale thing. Like on the map, we're painting out, you know, roughly the space between these buildings here, you know, a street width, but not much more than that. There's a Fingus over here. Where's my port? I'm assuming, yeah. Nope, nope. I guess a downside to... Huh. I genuinely didn't know that was possible in this game. How do we get up to that? Ah. I really should be doing more of a job of looking for the red flowers and then tracing a route backwards from them. Red man. Okay. 8 glyphs remain. that looks landmark-y. It was not, but I thought maybe it was a, Gothic-style church from a distance. Excellent. I'm still surprised that the bridges didn't trigger anything for us, you know? You know what? I'm just not convinced that the bridges aren't a thing, so we're gonna, real quick, we're just gonna drive back out to them, because there's such, like, visually, that's a landmark. Like, that is a landmark. C mark? Are we at the corner of the map? Is that? Oh, I just ran out of boost. There we go. Sightseer. Visit all landmarks. The Silver Pass. Cool. Alright. Now, getting all the animals could be trickier, because I don't know what all would be needed for that. This is bordering on a catchphrase of mine. But something that I'm thinking about in terms of like finding things, ways that the game can make the environment have like more secrets for you to find that actually impact gameplay. So the common thing, right? The way that this game has done it is you've got a limited resource and you find upgrades which raise the cap on the resource, right? So we've got limited boost. We find things that let us just have more boost. Okay, straightforward, easy, got it. Especially for things like a boost, there's a second low-hanging fruit that I wish this game would also offer us upgrades on, which is the rate at which we restore that thing. We could, I'm not going to say fairly easily, but it would not be that complicated to just have a second kind of thing that we find in the ocean or up on the buildings that just, lets the boost recharge a little bit faster. Because right now, it's going to take us a while for that to come back, right? There it goes. It's actually going at a decent rate, but it would be great to be able to, get a few upgrades under your belt and be able to, Rulia Hotel? It would be great to be able to get a few upgrades. Concierge. Visit all of the hotels. get a few upgrades to the boost so that you could sort of feather boosting as you go around a little bit better. Right now, I'm sure you could, but you'd be spending a lot of downtime on your boosting. Not quite close enough. The invisible gap there. I mean, it's not that invisible. You can see where the red flowers aren't. So there's a spot to get down there. Trying to figure out which one of these is gonna... Alright, so this one, I think, is the optional path. Excellent. 54 out of 60. In case it's not obvious, it looks like we're not gonna 100% this game in this episode, which probably means that we're not gonna 100% the game on camera. As I recall, there's nothing special for 100%ing. It is purely just for love of the game. So I am okay with that. I would have preferred to 100% the game on camera, but can't win them all. Right, do I think that the critical path, or do I think this is the critical path? I think maybe that was the critical path the other way, and so this one's going to be the optional. We'll find out. Ah. Another thing that this game could have like upgrades for would be, you know, of course, climbing gear, right? Like let her climb on lines a little bit faster. Get her some gloves so that she can shimmy a little bit faster on some of these hanging things. The structure of this game, to me, does not suggest true Metroidvania, like unlock an ability in order to get to an area that you otherwise cannot. I don't really think that that's just not what this game is, as much as I enjoy that. I could totally see that being in the next game, though. Like, you come up to a building and just immediately you're greeted by a jump that you can't quite make. You need to get the hook shot or whatever. Okay, I think I see it. I'm betting that if we go over the edge here... Yeah, this is gonna loop over. This is a whole deal, huh? It's a little funny, I don't really know. I'm sure that there is a term. I'm sure someone has coined a term for this. I just don't know what it would be called. The kind of Mirror's Edge problem where, or not Mirror's Edge, Assassin's Creed problem. 56 out of 60. We're gonna be close to 100%, which is kind of frustrating. I'm trying to let it not bother me. But like right here, right? It looks like we should be able to jump over to that, and right here, it looks like we should be able to climb down onto these, but we can't. Like that's just not what the gameplay is. And meanwhile, at the same time, there's bits where she like jumps up and grabs onto little ledges, and I'm like, how could you possibly like maintain that? How could your fingers withstand the kind of punishment that this would be putting on them? It's tough to make a building be realistically climbable in both directions at the same time. So props to the devs for doing what I would say is generally a good job here. All right, we are rough. All right, let's take away his pain. Painkillers. Not totally sure how to interpret that sequence. Hey, he's up. I appreciate that little bit there where he hurts. Like, literally see the texture fading away from her. There we go. Submerged. We arrived at the city, we climbed all over it. We got enough supplies to get our brother out of critical condition. And we leave. Well, I like this game. I like this game a lot. Do I wish that there was mechanically more to it? Yeah, sure. But the game doesn't overstay its welcome, in my opinion. You know, it's 3 hours long. It's very pretty. Like, I really like this art. I enjoy the music. I wish there was more music. But yeah, I have a great time. I'm excited to play the sequel. I love that we get to come back. We are healed up, so we're not all gross. Our brother is not here. Is he in the boat? Hello? Oh, is this DLC stuff? Hold that thought. I want to go grab those two things that we know about, and then we'll come back and do that. Brother is not in the boat. I don't actually know where our brother is. Hello, brother? Where did you go? Can we fit our boat in here? Kinda, technically. It's a good thing. I guess that right there is the reason why we needed the reverse button. which I think that was the first time that I'd hit the reverse button this playthrough. Alright. Driving this way. I would love to be able to zoom in. I would love to be able to flag things, because as it stands, you know, like we're navigating by like looking up and down at our map, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. And like using cardinal directions on our little compass here, which again is fine, but we could be doing it in a few other ways. Alright, so there's one here, and one there. Also, our boat also got healed. That's fun. Are there any? There is a secret that we straight up just know about that we could go get. Unfortunately, it's kind of on the opposite end of the world. And then there's going to be what, like 2 secrets after that? Hold on, this looks like a secret. I imagine a more modern game, each of these buildings would have a name, but the names would be from Kickstarter backers. Which of course would run the risk of you having, you know, the D's Nuts building and what have you. Do I want to go to that secret? I think yeah, we'll go. Maybe we'll find the animals that we're missing. Honestly, it's gonna be faster to go home. He says, having just said, I should get these animals. Broom. Alright, so where's the thing that I haven't gotten? Don't see it on here. It says that it's in this southwest corner. Drop down, go over. And like this right here is, I would say, kind of a good example of what I mean when I was talking about, like, it would be nice if there was a way that you could toss down a rope from the top of the building, right? To make re-exploring an area a little bit easier. But I'm fully aware that, like, what I'm suggesting there is kind of changing what the game is. Hold up. That. Where's this lead? Oh. That's just a shortcut back. Alright. Dang it. Bamboozled myself. Honestly, there was probably originally a secret there, and I've already collected it, so it's fine. One of the things that I think is kind of underappreciated with the Zelda formula is how good the Zelda games are at, like, letting you get into an area and sort of unlock it, unravel it a bit. There. Okay, so maybe I go to that previous bit. Hold up. Hold up. If I go like this... No, it doesn't let me. Girl, what are you... No. Can I? Yes, okay. I think this might be my issue. But I can't actually climb that. That's a come down from it situation. Shit. Oh, do we... Ah, ha, ha. Boy, that's... Oof. There we go. 58 out of 60. There are 2 more secrets somewhere in this. I'm seeing a lot of places it could be, honestly. Like, that. It was me, right? Maybe here. Maybe here. I'm not feeling super promising on that one. Like, yeah, this feels kind of suspicious to me. I really should have rechecked this bit. I think there's just nothing here. I think this is open ocean. Kind of hard to tell though. Like we were talking about, like, you know, when you're driving around, like, your boat doesn't really paint in the map that far from where you start. So, I'm gonna call it here for this episode. I guess we'll do a bonus episode for the DLC, because I think that's what that glowy thing is, which is going to be totally new to me. I have no knowledge about that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little mini series, and hopefully you're as excited to play the next game as I am. We'll play the next game after we play the DLC of this one, because there's pretty decent chances that the DLC sort of sets things up for the next one. But yeah, without any more, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!